Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our fifth class of this advanced English course. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Good evening, teacher. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tavares. Hi, Honai. Hi, Omar. Hi, Tavares.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. I hope that you enjoyed your long weekend and that you're ready to begin tonight's class. We only have five more classes left, so it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. Okay, so tonight we're going to review a couple of all the exercises that we left in our last class one week ago. Yes, 1 week ago, and we're going to dive into some topics. Okay, the topics that I mentioned in our last class. Pretty simple. If you saw them or studied them in the intermediate course, well, it will be even simpler. Okay, but let's see if you remember. So let's start right away. Remember that after tonight's class, tomorrow, you will have a new practice available. Okay, a new practice available. And after every class there will be a practice. The idea is to get used to it, be ready for your evaluation, right? And also to practice, because we need to practice this language a lot. We don't use them, we don't use it every day. We wish, but we don't use it because the majority of the people that are in our environment, they don't, in our surroundings, they don't speak English. Okay, so here we have our first exercise. Okay, here we have our first exercise. We have to choose, and if you did your practice, well, you are more than ready to do this. So I, blank space, wake up early during the week. Which one would be the answer? Tend to, am tend to, tending to. Tell me, Edison.
Number one, I'm tend to wake up early during the week.
I tend to. Well done. Letter A. Excellent. Number two, I'm of drinking coffee before training. Letter A, letter B, letter C. Tell me, Edison. Oh, hand was raised.
Excuse me, teacher. Okay, I'm in the habit drinking coffee before training.
I'm in the habit. Very well. I'm in the habit of drinking coffee before training. Okay, I'm in the habit. Okay. Honai. Okay, Honai, number three and number four, Honai.
Okay, teacher. Number three. I make a point of prepare my meals in advance. And number four, I more often than not, I feel more energetic after a good night's sleep.
Okay. I feel. So here we have a typo, right? Because here we need ing. I make a point of preparing my meals in advance. That's my mistake. Okay, but just so you know that here we need ing in case it sounded weird to you, because it did sound weird to me. I make a point of preparing my meals in advance. That's correct. And number four, more often than not, I feel more energetic after a good night's sleep. After a good night's sleep, more often than not. Okay. Okay, let's continue with number 5 and number 6. Number 5 and number 6. Okay, tell me, Angelica.
And number five is I'm prone to skipping meals when I'm busy.
Okay, and number 6, Angelica.
Um, on the is I monitor my person.
Could you please repeat? Angelica, could you please
Yes,
repeat?
teacher. On a daily basis, I monitor my calorie intake.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. So, number 5, I'm prone to skipping meals when I'm busy. I'm prone to skipping meals when I'm busy. And number 6, on a daily basis, I monitor my calorie intake. My calorie intake. That's good. Okay, let's continue with number 7 and number 8. Number 7 and number 8. Tell me, Jarais.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Number seven is I hardly ever drink enough water, which affect my energy levels. And number eight, I used to eat late, but now I have dinner earlier.
Well done. Well done. So I hardly ever drink enough water, which affects my energy levels. Hardly ever. And I used to eat late, but now I have dinner earlier. Okay. The last two, number 9 and number 10. Tell me, Hanai.
Okay, number 9. I consistently make healthy food choices. Every now, every,
Yeah, every.
yes, every now and then I eat fast food.
Very well. So I consistently make healthy food choices. Every now and then I eat fast food. Pretty easy, pretty simple. Okay? So, if you don't have any questions, let's continue. One of you send a picture to the WhatsApp group that has a lot of the ideas that we taught in our last class. That was a good resource, okay? That was a good resource. You should use it. A really good resource. Okay, let's continue with number 2. Okay, I don't eat late. Number 1, number 2, I don't eat late. I'm extremely hungry. And number 2, you can eat carbs. You control portions. Tell me, Edinson.
Number one, I don't eat late unless I'm extremely hungry.
Okay.
Number two, you can eat carbs as long as you control portion.
As long as you control portions. Okay. Okay, so this word here is extremely. Extremely. We can feel tempted to say extremely. Where is extremely? Extremely. I have to remember that as well, because sometimes I say extremely because I am trying to say it like with the influence of Spanish, pronouncing every consonant and word. But sometimes in English, that rule does not apply, like in this case. So we say extremely, like that E does not exist, extremely. So I don't eat late unless, and you can eat carbs as long as you control portions. Okay, a lot of food related top words here, a lot of food related words here, vocabulary. Okay, let's continue with number 3 and number 4. Hanai.
Number three, I'll bring snacks in case I get hungry. Hungry. Yes, hungry.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
Tell me, teacher.
you're second guessing yourself.
And I am number 4. I won't train unless I feel exhausted.
Exhausted. Yes.
Exhausted.
Yes. I
Thank
won't
you, teacher.
train unless I feel exhausted. Okay. Very well. So I'll bring snacks in case I get hungry, and I won't train unless I feel exhausted. Okay, let's continue with number 5 and number 6. Number 5 and number 6. Come on, don't be shy. Number 5 and number 6. Let's keep this rolling. Continue, Edison. Number 5 and number 6.
Number 5. Even if I am tired, I still go to the gym. Number 6. I want to improve my energy levels unless I change my diet.
Okay. Well done. Well done. So even if I'm tired, I still go to the gym. And number 6, I won't improve my energy levels unless I change my diet. Okay. So number 7 and number 8. Number 7 and number 8. Tell me, Honai, please.
No, okay. Ask no me teacher other.
Okay. Tell me, Angelica.
I'll go for the walks unless it rains.
Okay, and number 8, Angelica.
I'll take a jacket in case it gets cold.
Okay, I'll go for a walk unless it rains. I'll take a jacket in case it gets cold. I don't know if you noticed, guys, but we have been repeating the same structures for a couple of minutes, and it starts to become obvious. The answer starts to become obvious. So that's the idea of these exercises, that your mind can automatically know what exactly is the words that you need to add. In Infotep, you don't have tests like that, but some tests, they give you exercises like that without the choices. So you don't have choices. You have to actually know the words that's missing. So in order to do that and be able to do well on a test like that, you need to practice a lot with exercises like this. When you repeat a lot, then it is something like second nature. You don't have to think about it. You just know the answer because you know the answer. So that's the reason why we do these exercises. Something I always tell my students is that if you want to know if you actually know the answer in a test, you have to figure out the answer without looking to the options. If you know the answer without looking at the options, then you know the answer truly. Okay, number 9 and number 10. Tell me, Jarais.
Okay, number 9. I put you can have dessert unless you've eaten properly. And number 10, um, even if I feel hungry, I try to drink water first.
Okay, even if I feel hungry, I try to drink water first. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about number 9, Jarais. Here you said unless, right? You can have dessert unless you've eaten properly. But in this case, we have a better option. As long as.
As long as
Yes.
I think, but I don't know, and I don't know if the oh my god, how can I say that?
It's okay, take your
Um,
time.
I think if as long as, but I think then I think unless is better option, but it's okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's okay, it's okay. Don't worry. As long as makes better sense, okay? Fits best. Because the idea is that you can have dessert and I am giving you a condition. This condition is the next sentence, right? If you'd eaten properly. So as long as you've eaten properly, you can have dessert. Okay? Unless could confuse the idea of what the person should do or not do. Okay? Remember, unless it's a menos que,
Okay.
while as long as is mientras.
Exactly.
Okay? So tú
Yeah.
puedes comer postre siempre y cuando hayas comido correctamente, ¿verdad? Apropiadamente, que es lo normal.
Sí, yo lo traducí like al menos, unless, por eso
Okay.
fue como de confused.
Okay.
Sorry. Thank you, teacher.
It's okay. Okay, guys, so far so good. So far so good with this. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Okay, so our last exercise is with the sleep and energy definitions. So here we're going to match. Okay, we're going to match. Pretty simple. Okay, we have doze off and turn in. What is the meaning of doze off? Tell me, Edison.
For me, the stuff is fall asleep unintentionally.
Yes. Fall asleep unintentionally. Yes. What about turn in? What about turn in?
Go to bed.
Yeah, go to bed. Let's see if you can identify the mistake in this exercise. Okay, go to bed. Sleep in.
Yeah, I realize, but I don't, I don't, I can't believe it.
Now you see it, and they are thinking about it. So that means that you haven't memorized all the meanings of these expressions. Because as you can see, I have a huge mistake here. The elephant in the room is that all the answers are paired with their expressions, or all the expressions are paired with their answers. So no point of doing this actually, because we won't test anything. As soon as you realize this, you just have to follow, right, the same logic. Okay, so remember guys that you have to memorize this: doze off, fall asleep unintentionally, turn in, go to bed, sleep in, wake up later than usual, perk up, become more energetic, burn out, experience extreme exhaustion, wear out, exhaust completely, slow down, reduce activity or speed, wake up, stop sleeping, become conscious, drift off, fall asleep gradually, and run on, depend on something. Coffee, energy. Okay? Okay. So, tonight we're going to talk about these topics. So let's start our way. So advanced English grammar, verb systems, and tense mastery. Tense mastery. These titles make this class sound so complex, but it's so easy. So don't be fooled by those titles. Okay, so here we have the first one, infinitive and gerund. So I have to ask a question before we continue. Do you know the difference between an infinitive verb and a gerund? Did you study in the intermediate course the gerunds? Is that a no? The silence is an answer. Is that a no too? Is that a maybe?
Can you repeat, teacher?
Teacher, the manera in the intermediate, we see a lot of topic.
Okay, but the gerunds, I
Um,
mean, the gerunds. If you study the
yeah,
gerunds,
yeah, ando yendo.
Yeah, we saw teachers. We saw
Yeah,
them.
we saw.
okay. So when we talk about the gerunds, we're not talking about present progressive, okay? No, it's not about present progressive. That's what I want to know. If you know that in English, we have the gerunds. So the gerunds are something different than present progressive, because we normally know the ing verbs only in the present continuous tense for an activity that we are doing at the moment. But in English, the ing ending can mean different things. It can turn a verb into a noun, and it can turn a verb into an adjective. So I want to know if you know that. Did you know that?
We see a little of that, but if you can, please,
Okay.
if you again.
Okay, I won't go deep into the topic. I won't go deep into the topic because that takes a lot of time. But just so you know, you need to at least remember this, okay? Every time you see ing, don't think about present continuous. You have to identify if you are reading, looking at a present tense, present progressive sentence, a noun, or an adjective. In this case, and for your evaluation, you don't need to remember that like that, but you need to remember what I'm going to tell you after I pass to the other page, because in your test you have a couple of exercises where you have to choose an infinitive verb or a gerund verb. So what we're going to do related to this topic tonight is that we're going to memorize verbs that normally are followed by a infinitive form, by an infinitive form verb, and verbs that are normally followed by a gerund verb. Okay? So we don't have like a specific rule for that. Okay? We need to do a memorization process. We need to learn it by heart. Okay? It's like the regular and irregular verbs. You don't know how to distinguish them unless you know them. So the same thing happens with these verbs. You need to know that enjoy is a verb that is normally followed by a gerund, and that want is a verb that is normally followed by an infinitive verb. Okay, so you need to know those things. Okay, that's the main focus of tonight's class, at least related to this topic. Okay, so normally a infinitive verb, we can identify it with by this, by looking at the preposition that comes before the verb. Okay, so when we talk about an infinitive verb, we're talking about a verb that has the preposition to before the verb, like to eat, to go, to study. Okay, and we have the gerund, which is verbs with ing, like eating, going, studying, right? Okay. Okay, so here is the pretty important part. So these verbs that you can see right here, want, need, decide, plan, hope, agree, learn, and promise, are verbs that normally when you use them, the verb that comes after them will be in its infinitive form. I'm going to repeat that again. These verbs that you can see right here are verbs that normally are followed by a verb in its infinitive form. Okay? Don't forget that. This list is a lot longer. Okay? Is much longer. But we don't need to go that deep with this topic. With these verbs will suffice. Okay? This is more than enough for now. But you need to memorize them. Okay? For example, we can see here, I need, the verb need, to study. To study is a verb in its infinitive form. So when you use want, need, decide, plan, hope, agree, learn, promise, the verb that comes after them is going to be in its infinitive form. We can also use them to express purpose after adjectives like it's important to sleep, and with too and enough, too tired to work, strong enough to lift. Okay, but this is the main focus, this right here, to memorize this. Then we have other verbs. Tell me, Honai.
Excuse me, teacher. And number three, when I say it's important to sleep, uh, I can use it's important without to sleeping. That's correct or incorrect?
In this case, would be incorrect. It's important sleeping. It's important to sleep is the correct form after adjectives.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay, so here we have other verbs. So these verbs are different, guys, because these verbs like enjoy, avoid, especially enjoy, finish, consider, suggest, and keep are verbs that are normally followed by a gerund. So, I enjoy reading. I enjoy reading. Okay? I suggest walking in the morning. I keep my car running in the morning. Okay? So these verbs are normally followed by gerunds. Don't forget that. We can also use them, after prepositions. That's why good at, after good at, we normally have a gerund. I'm good at speaking, I'm good at running, I'm good at working. Interested in learning, in is a preposition. I know you know that. And before leaving. We don't say before to leave, before leaving, because we always use gerund after a preposition. Okay? We can also use them as subject, like swimming is healthy. Here, swimming is a subject. And here we have a full structure, like swimming in cold water is difficult. But the point here is, especially these two, right? These two. Remembering that these verbs are followed by gerunds and that after prepositions, we also use gerunds. Okay. So far, so good.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
Only this is the list of verbs that are you obligatory to use ing after the preposition.
Yes, that you are, um, that is a necessity. You are obligated to use a form of the verb in ing. After enjoy, you need an ing verb. After a preposition, you need an ing verb. Enjoy reading, enjoy swimming, enjoy running, enjoy eating, working.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so it's
Thank
not
you.
normal to say enjoy to read. No, enjoy reading. Enjoy to swim. Enjoy swimming. Okay? So, as I said before, this is only a handful. Okay, this is a short list. The list is longer. But for now, and for the purpose of this class, you don't need to know more verbs than this. With this, you can work. Okay? With this. Okay, now let's talk about something that is going to add a level of difficulty. Okay, so let's have this in mind. We have some verbs that are followed by infinitive form verbs. Excellent. We have some verbs that are followed by a gerund verb. That's okay. But in English, we have two more situations. We have a couple of verbs that can have the same meaning, either if you use a infinitive form verb or if you use a gerund verb. Okay? So some verbs in English you can use whichever you like and the meaning is the same. Like for example, like to run, like running. It is the same meaning, okay? And I can use whichever I like. I like to run, I like running. Both are correct. But now, and this is the important part for you now, some verbs, like the ones I'm going to show you now, that you will have in your test, have two different meanings. When you use the gerund, it has a meaning. And when you use the infinitive form, it has another meaning. Okay, so let's see it. For example, the verb stop. Okay? So when you say stop to smoke, it means that you pause to do it. Okay? I stopped to smoke. So you pause to smoke. Okay? So let's say you were driving. Okay, I stopped to smoke. It means that you stop driving to smoke. It's not the same as to say stop smoking. When you say stop smoking, it's because you quit. See the difference? I stop to smoke. Whatever I was doing, I stopped doing that to smoke a cigarette. But if I say stop smoking, it's because I quit. So both are correct, but the meaning changes. Another example, remember. Okay, when we say remember to call, it's a future obligation. When I say remember calling, it's a past memory. So remember to call, if I say, Honai, remember to call your father, that's a future obligation. If I say, okay, I remember calling my brother yesterday, I'm talking about a past memory. Remember calling. So both are correct, but have different meaning. Tell me, Jarais.
One question.
Of course.
When you explain the stop, a stop to smoke is like pause to do in the moment or indefinitely. I don't know how to pronounce that word.
Okay.
Or is in the moment or for forever.
No, no, it's only at the moment. And it's not that you stop, okay, it's not that you stop the smoking. Is that, let's put another example.
I don't understand that.
Okay, it's okay, it's okay. Let's say, Jarais, that you are cooking, right? You are cooking. And
Okay.
you say, I stop to smoke. It means that you stop cooking to go outside and smoke a cigarette.
Okay.
That is to stop to smoke. So whatever action you were doing, you stopped to go outside or whatever and smoke a cigarette. It's not about quitting. You are a smoker. Okay? You're not quitting.
Okay.
But when you say
Understood.
stop smoking, then you were talking about quitting. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, it's okay. The first time I learned about this, it was kind of tricky. The idea, what is the difference?
Yes, it's confused.
Yeah,
Well, thank you. Thank you.
yeah, it's normal. That normally happens. Okay, let's continue with try. Another meaning shifter. Try to open, effort, struggle, try opening, experiment, test. So if I say I tried to open the bottle, it means that I was trying to open it. I did the effort. Well, if I say try opening, is because I'm talking about an experiment, a test. I try opening a restaurant. Okay. So both are correct. This is what is weird, right? Both are correct, but they have different meanings. And the last one, regret. Regret to inform, formal bad news. Regret telling, feel bad about the past. I regret to inform that you have been suspended. Okay, formal bad news. Or a memory about the past. I regret telling my father that I went out without his permission. I regret that. You see, the meaning changes. So, these verbs you have to memorize and learn by heart. Okay? You have to learn it by heart because these verbs are in your test. Okay? Let's continue if that is clear. Okay. Here you have a couple of exercises to see if you actually get it. Here you have to choose the correct verb form depending on the verb, which is easy. And here you have errors and you have to fix the box. Okay, fix the errors. Okay, pretty easy. You just have to look at the list. Here you have to write full sentences using the verbs so you can practice the same thing. Okay, let's see how you build this sentence based on the rule. Based on the rule that some of these verbs are followed by infinitive form verbs and some of these verbs are followed by gerund form verbs. Okay, so that's the first topic. Let's continue with our second topic. So we have two interesting time tenses, past simple and present perfect. So remember that we use the past simple to talk about finished action at a specific time. Okay? And we use the present perfect without having to mention when something happened. So remember, we use the past simple to talk about things that are finished. For example, I ate my meal this morning. I drank coffee this afternoon. So those are finished actions. They are in the past. So we normally use yesterday. Last week, last month with this tense. Okay, I can say I drank coffee yesterday. I visited my mother last week. Okay, and then we have the present perfect, which is a tense that we don't need to specify the exact moment when something happened. I can say I have visited New York many times. But many times is not a year, it's not a month. I'm just saying that I have been there. You don't know, and I'm not telling you how many times. I'm only telling you that I have been there many times. Okay? So we normally use the present perfect for that. And we need to remember that difference. Normally, the past simple has a couple of expressions that are common in past simple. Last week, yesterday, last month. Okay? While in the case of present perfect, we use ever, never, already, yet, and just. Okay? Okay? So, we have here the present perfect, the different uses. We use it for experience, like I have been to Spain. Change over time, she has improved. Unfinished time, I have worked today. Recent action, I have just finished. You see? So this is the use of present perfect versus the past simple. So in your case, you need to remember the signals that we normally use for the present perfect and the signals that we normally use for the past simple. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay, thank you, Edison. Okay, so let's continue. If you need me to explain a little bit more about a topic, you can tell me and I can do it, okay? I'm assuming that you studied this because this topic it's in the basic English and in the intermediate English as well. It's it's a very important topic, so we have it in the program many times. So this is the legal structure, for example, that we can use with the present perfect, like yesterday. I saw that movie yesterday is a correct sentence, okay? But we can use this structure with the present perfect. We have to use something like this. I have seen that movie. Remember that in order to build the present perfect, we need the auxiliary have followed by the past participle of the verb. Always. Always. Okay? Again, the signals are yesterday, last night, ago for the past simple. And for the present perfect, the signals are ever, never, already, yet, and just. Because we're talking more about the experience, not about when something occurred. Okay, here you have these two exercises where you have to choose which is the better option, the past simple or the present perfect. If you remember the cues that I just gave you, this is easy peasy. The same thing here. You have to identify present perfect or past simple. Okay? This is going to be an oral practice for our next class. So in our next class, I will ask you these questions here live. Have you ever traveled abroad? When did you last travel? So we can test if you know how to answer a present perfect tense question versus a past simple question, okay? So I will ask these questions to you in our next class. So I expect that you prepared so we can have an interesting dynamic with this topic because you have to talk. Okay, you have to talk. Okay, next topic is present perfect and present perfect continuous. Okay, so what is the difference? So, when we use the present perfect, we normally focus on the result, right? We don't say when something happened, but we talk about a process, a result. For example, I have read the book. But when we switch to the present perfect continuous, it's because we see something, an ongoing process. Okay, so it's not the same thing to say I have read that book as to say I have been reading for 2 hours. So as you can see, present perfect continuous makes emphasis in the action that you have been performing for certain time because the focus of the present perfect continuous is duration. So how do you build a present perfect continuous sentence? Easy. You need the auxiliary have because this is a continuous tense. You need the verb to be, but you need the past participle of the verb to be. Been in all the sentences. And after been, you need your ing verb. And that's it. I have been reading for 2 hours. So when you use the present perfect continuous, is to make that emphasis on duration. Okay, so let's see if we can build another example. Okay. Um I have painted the house. Okay? I have painted the house. What I'm saying is that that action, the painting, I did it. I'm not mentioning when it happened, but I'm talking about the result. I have painted the house. So I'm talking about the result. Okay, now with present perfect continuous. I have been painting the house all afternoon. Or I have been painting the house for 4 hours. Notice the difference? The first one, I have painted the house, is only talking about the result. But the second structure is talking about the time that I've been doing this. I mean, I have been painting the house for 4 hours. See? Result, ongoing action. Result, ongoing action. Present perfect, result. Present perfect continuous, ongoing action because I'm still doing it. Okay? Got it? Is that clear?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Okay. Look at this, guys. The visible effects rule. Use continuous for present physical evidence. You're tired. Have you been working? Normally, Americans use the present perfect when the present perfect continues when they see something, some evidence. For example, in movies, I know you have heard this before. You look drunk. Have you been drinking? You look drunk. Have you been drinking? I am asking that question because I am seeing something. There is some evidence that you are drunk because of how you walk, how you talk. It doesn't matter. The thing is that I noticed something and I'm asking, have you been? You are all sweaty. Have you been running? You see? So we can also use the present perfect continuous to ask about something that the person, the environment, the situation is giving me like cues or information, some evidence. Okay? That is something that I can't do with the present perfect. Okay? I can't do because present perfect is not about that. Just to add another difference between present perfect and present perfect continuous. Okay. Here you have, this is not an exercise. Don't worry. This is not an exercise. But here we have an interesting warning. We never use, I don't know if you remember, but not all the verbs that we have, we can add ing at the end. In English, we have something called estative verbs or verbos de estado, which are verbs that we can't use ing with them because they describe a present condition. So I don't need to add another emphasis about a present condition. For example, I have a car. It's a present situation. I have it. I cannot be having it. Got it? So we don't say, I'm having a car. Okay? I'm having a car. We say, I have a car. And you might say, but teacher, I see that Americans use having in some situations. Yes, they use having in certain situations, but not to express a present continuous situation. For example, having breakfast, because you're eating the breakfast. Having breakfast. Those are exceptions. The same thing happens with want. Want is a stative verb. So you say, I want a house. You don't say, I am wanting a house, because want is a condition that is present. You want. You don't have to add wanting now because it is useless, because want, it is already a present condition, a present state. So with that in mind, remember that verbs like know, believe, like, and understand are stative verbs. So we don't use ing. Okay, don't forget that. So as you can see here, we have I have worked all day. I have been working all day. She has read. She has been reading for. So here, yes, this is an exercise. Here you have to choose which one fits best. I have worked or I have been working. She has read or she has been reading. You only have to apply the rule that I just taught you. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Okay, so we're going to ignore this exercise here and let's focus on this one. Okay. I like this because we have to correct errors. And this helps you understand the rule, to put into practice the rule. So here you have some errors that you have to identify and correct. For example, let's look at the first sentence right here. Let's see if you have been paying attention. I have been knowing him. What is wrong about this sentence? Who can tell me?
ing is in the verb no.
Yes.
No, because it's not possible.
Yes. Thank you, Edinson. Perfect. No is a stative verb, so we don't use ing. So we have to correct this. I can say this. I can say I have known him and switch this sentence into present perfect because I can't use it in present perfect continuous because knowing does not exist. Easy, right? So you will do the same thing with the others. And the last topic. Remember that we have many topics tonight because we skipped Sunday's class. Okay, that was part of the deal. But this is the last one. Okay, no. Okay, this is the last one because the one after this is really really short. Okay, so the last one is the past perfect. So we have seen present perfect continuous, and past perfect now. If you know present perfect, the other perfect tenses are super easy, really simple. So the past perfect, which we build it using had as an auxiliary, and everything is the same, we normally use it to express an action before another in the past. So let's say we have two actions in the past. One occurred first, and after that one, another one. But both actions are in the past. So in order to do that, I need the past perfect. Okay? So, so the structure is had. You replace have for had, and you still use the same past participle. So, no problem there. So we use the past perfect for the action that happened first, and we use the past simple for the action that happened second. Okay? For example, let's make an example. Um,
I heard I had called the ambulance after she had an accident.
after she
After she had an accident.
I had called the ambulance. I was thinking about one example that I always use. I always use with the door. I just can't remember now. Let me see. Could you please repeat your example, Edison, to see if that jogs my memory?
I had called the ambulance before after she had an accident.
After she had an accident. Okay, but the accident happens first, and the call the ambulance would be the second. So we can use that same example. Um, I had called for an ambulance. No, she had she had an accident. No, that's not the one. Let me see if I can jog my memory with this. Oh my god, I use the same example all the time. Um, Here we have the structure, but I'm looking for a. Give me a second. Give me a second. This is the one. This is the one. They had already left when we arrived. They had already left when we arrived. So we have the first action. They had already left, which is the first action that happened. So when we arrived would be the second. So they had already left is the first action. When we arrived is the second action. So for the first action, I need the past simple, the past perfect. And for the other action, I need the past simple. So we normally use it to express which action happened first. So in English, you don't need to tell me which action happened first. As soon as I hear the past perfect, I know that the first action was the one in past perfect. And the action in past simple was the action that happened after that. Edison?
I have one.
Yes?
I have one.
Okay.
I had done my homework before to take a class.
Okay. Okay. I had done my homework before the class. Okay. Okay. So the homework, Edison did the homework first and then came the class. Okay. When they knocked the door, I had already left. When they knocked the door, I had already left. Okay, so when they knocked the door is in past simple. Okay, when they knocked the door is in past simple. So that is the second action. I had already left is the first action. So what I'm trying to explain with this, you are not fixed to say past perfect first and then past simple. You can use it whichever you like. Americans know, and you should know, that the past perfect sentence is the first action. It doesn't matter if that is the first sentence or if that is the second sentence. It doesn't matter. The idea is that the past perfect sentence is the action that happened first. Is that clear?
Teacher, last question.
Yes.
I would like to confirm something. Past perfect only we can use for express some action before another past action.
We normally use it for that, yes.
For you for only or you normally use.
We can use it.
There are a difference.
Okay. We normally
There are a difference in equation. Just use or you normally use.
normally. We normally use. We normally use. Did you study the third conditionals? Edison, did you study the third conditionals previously?
I don't know really.
Okay, okay. Well, we normally use the past perfect for the third conditionals, which is to talk about something we regret, to talk about a hypothetical situation from the past. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
okay. We normally use it, for example, with the past modal verbs. Um, if I had known, if I had known that she was a stealer, if I had known that she was a stealer, I would have never allowed her to be in my house. That is a third conditional. We're talking about something of the past, a hypothetical situation, because if I had known can be changed because I didn't know. So I am saying now that that happened. If I had known that she was a stealer, I would have never allowed her to stay in my home. Okay, so we also use the past perfect for the third conditional when we are talking about a hypothetical situation from the past. Okay,
Thank you.
okay. The past perfect is okay. The past perfect is in your test. Okay, you have to put it into practice. If you need, we if we finish the program before our 5 classes, we can take one class, if we have one remaining or two, to re-study a topic that you think you need to uh, to to practice more. Okay, so that's something we can do. We just have to see we finish the program before the time is completed. And if we do that, we can use that time to practice one topic, okay? But the past perfect is a topic that is in your test. It's not like you have like 10 questions about the past perfect, but at least one. And remember, the test is 68 questions. So every question matters. Because if you want a C2 grade, you need to have at least 65 over 68. So you can only miss or go wrong in 3 answers. If you want to be C1, you have to at least be above 55 points. So every question matters. Okay, with that being said, after that difficult situation where I didn't remember a simple structure. Sorry about that. I had to jog my memory. Here we have this exercise where you have to use the past perfect. Okay. Here you have to identify when is past perfect or when is past simple. Okay. When a sentence is talking about a first action followed by another action, or when a sentence is only talking about a past action. Okay. And the last, I will bring another exercise. I will bring another exercise of the past perfect, which is better than this one. And the last thing, guys, this is the last thing. We have the sequencing and pacing adverbs. We normally use adverbs in English to build our stories, right? To build our narratives. The sequencing, the adverbs allow us to build better a narrative because we can add sequencing, we can add drama, we can add the time, and we can illustrate exactly how something happened or exactly when something happened. So we normally use this sequencing adverbs like first, then, after that, finally. For the drama, we say We can use suddenly, unexpectedly, actually. For the time, we can use when, while, as soon as. And for the ending, we can use in the end or eventually. Okay? That's it. So you are going to use these sequence adverbs for these two exercises. Okay? So here we have 10 sentences, right? We have to arrange these 10 sentences to form a narrative flow. Okay? To form a narrative flow. We look at the sentences and we formed a narrative flow. So you are going to use this. Okay, you're going to use this. I know. It's going to take a little time, but it will be worth it. Believe me. Because you need to be able to use this and to build stories. And this one, you only have to fill the blank spaces or the black spaces in this case. The black spaces with one of these, the one that you think fits best. Okay, the one that you think fits best when you read this. Okay, the idea is only to help you build narratives. Okay, we need to know how to do that. It's a basic ability in English, and that's the reason why we have been seeing all of these topics, not only for the test, but also to use them in real life. And to use them in real life is to be able to build narratives, to build stories. Okay, guys, so that will be all. For our next class on Sunday, we will talk about tag questions, expresiones para conectar ideas formalmente, collocations sobre solución de problemas, pasado habitual con used to y would, muy fácil, y expresiones con keep and stay. Okay. So, do you have any questions? That was fast. Do you have any questions?
Was fast. Thank you, teacher. All clear.
Okay, thank you, Jarais. Okay, guys, so that will be all. This class will be available tomorrow morning, and I will habilitate your practice tomorrow as well. Remember, you will have until Sunday to do it. The practice that you will have tomorrow is based on all of this: present perfect continuous, past perfect. What else? The gerunds versus the the infinitive form, and the sequence that I told you at the end, the adverbs. That's it. Don't worry, Hanai. It's going to be the same 30 questions with a little text. Okay, guys, so I won't take much of your time. Have a really good night and see you again on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Bye. Good night.
Have a good
Have
night.
a good night. Bye, teacher. Thank you. Bye
Bye
bye.
Good
bye.
night.